Ewan.
Hi, Kev.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I think that's the done thing.
Yes.
How are you, all right?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
Been up to much recently? Anything exciting?
Yeah, I do lots of outside, do a bit of kayaking, a bit of jogging.
Wow.
I was playing football, but my knee doesn't want to play football anymore.
No. You put me to shame. It sounds like you do more exercise than me, and I used to be a sportsman.
I don't.
Shall we,
Oh, yeah, that'll be nice, yeah.
So, Kev, I think it's fair to say in the last few years or so, you've really turned your life around, haven't you? I mean, how bad were things?
In high school, I developed a negative body image, and I really felt I wasn't attractive to girls, and I had low self-esteem. You know, it's always fearful and doubtful, and with the low self-esteem, that caused that. So eventually, I went to a prostitute on the street. The reason for me is like wanting companionship, and thinking, just going down the wrong path. I'm spending time now with a girl, and I like that. And she was a heroin addict as well. For a couple of months, I didn't touch any heroin, so I was still working and everything was fine. But then I started on the heroin, and it's about 2 months, and I gave up my job. I couldn't go to work anymore because of the physical addiction from heroin. If you don't have it, you can't get up, you feel ill. I wasn't living, it was the same routine day after day. I felt I was just a drain on society, and I thought I may as well just carry on using heroin until I die, because there's no alternative, no options. It's all right.
But there was an option, and you found it, though, yeah?
Well,
you
there was,
ahead.
yeah, but that's how I felt at the time.
Yeah. So what was the turning point for you then?
With heroin addiction, there's not a lot of people who actually do it, so it takes a lot of people. The girl that I lived with in Newsville, she's dead. From heroin overdose. I got into trouble with the police, running drugs. I went in front of the judge, and he said to me, look, if you don't change, you're going to go to jail. So I'd never been to jail before, and I didn't want to go to jail.
How did Saints Foundation, then tell me about the association with them and how they helped you and the people you met through them?
I think in the beginning of my recovery, I needed to fill my time up with good, positive activities. With Saints for Sports or Saints Foundation, having a program that I could engage with, it really helped me fill my time. The people who work there were incredibly supportive. They've got volunteers who've been through similar issues to me, and they supported and encouraged me and everything. So it gave me an opportunity to try some different sports out, which I really enjoyed.
Did that help then, having a purpose?
It does help having that structure, because you have to make a decision. Do I want to go to boxing today at 11 o'clock, or am I going to stay in bed laying it around at home? So it gets you up and out. But I think it also prepares you for the future, because one day you actually want to start maybe working or doing something, so you actually developing a routine where you need to get up and be prepared to go somewhere and do something.
So fast forward a little bit, how have you gone from that? You were a rock bottom addict, you started to turn things around, Saints Foundation helped you, and now you're in employment and your life has totally changed. So
I started volunteering at the drug and alcohol service. I'd done that for about 6 months, and then I was fortunate enough to be offered full-time work there. So I worked at the drug and alcohol service for 5 years as like a support worker. I've left there about 15 months ago, working at the Southampton Hospital at the moment for the NHS as a healthcare assistant. So besides the working, you know, I've been back home to South Africa multiple times, 4 or 5 times. I've been to Dartmoor, the Isle of Wight, New Forest, Salisbury. I've done the South Downs Way. So I'm actually living.
Do you know what I love what you've just said? For me, the thing I've taken from all of that, you do so much.
I'm living.
You're living, that's exactly the words I was going to say. For you to say you're living, what would you say to anyone else then, perhaps, who is rock bottom as you were and thinks there is no way out? What would you say to them?
You've got to start with small steps. Just try and stop using for 1 hour for 1 day, and it will build and grow.
Kevin, it's been fascinating hearing your story. Thanks for chatting to me.
No, thank you for coming and
Fancy
listening.
warming up and getting a cup of tea?
Absolutely,
Let's go.
do it.